Hello, my friends. Paul White here. Greetings and welcome to the very beginning of our journey into the Old Testament book of Ruth. As you can tell, we are in a different setting. I'm sitting in my office in front of my phone this time. Let me explain. First of all, you've noticed if you looked at the audio line or the video line that this isn't not very long. That's because we did not have our meeting on Tuesday evening last night like we normally do. And we didn't have it because I got sick. I don't know any other way to say it than I got hit with a bug or something. I think I've got a bit of a ear infection. I'm on a little antibiotic now. It gave me pretty severe vertigo, worse than I've ever had. And it caused me a really, really rough Tuesday afternoon. I just didn't feel like I had what it took to stand up. That's literally to stand up for an hour. And so we canceled. We get a great group. Everyone's understanding, prayed for me. Great night's sleep. The antibiotic is working. Prayers are working. Rest is working. And so I feel about 85 to 90% better today. Weak and tired, but that's life. So we didn't shoot it. However, I had promised you that intro to Ruth was coming. We were going to do a 15 or 20 minute video shoot on Ruth, and then we were going to shoot a regular sermon that I have. And so now I'm pushing it to next week. All of that will happen next week. In the meantime, I thought I would at least address you and I would give you a heads up on something you could work on. So we're calling this Ruth Homework, so that you can participate in being prepared. You can come into the next week's video maybe a little more prepared than normal, having grabbed your Bible and done a little reading. So the very first thing that I want to do is put on the screen something that will be on the screen next week, and we'll talk through it more extensively. This is a chart that shows the order of the Hebrew Bible in its three divisions, and then the order of the Protestant Bible side by side. We'll talk about the divisions a little bit next week, and we'll talk about the placement of these books a lot more next week, but I want you to notice Ruth. Find Ruth on the Hebrew Bible listing, and then find Ruth on the Protestant Bible listing. And although there are some books out of order here or there, notice how severely out of order that Ruth is compared to the other books. That is a key in understanding perhaps what is happening with the little story of Ruth. Now, it's a key that I'm not going to help you use yet, but I wanted to lay it out there so you can have yourself a little homework. Here's some more homework for you, and I'll spare you any in-depth details for next week's lesson, but I've got some scriptures I'd like for you to look up. There's a couple of things I'd like for you to do. One, if you haven't read the book of Ruth, this is a good time. Sit down this week and read the little 4-chapter book of Ruth. Read it slowly. It will not take you very long. I don't know if it'll take you 45 minutes, 30 minutes probably. Maybe 45 if you read it out loud. It's a beautiful love story. Some have called it a gentle book, peaceable book, and juxtapose it in its setting of where it is in the Bible, and just watch this thing unfold. Okay, to help you with some of the things going on in the names of the countries and the people in the book, I want you to jot these down. I'll put them up for you, and then hopefully you can have a heads up. Look up, read. You don't have to fully comprehend. I just want you to do the homework. Look up Deuteronomy 23:3. Look up Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 1. Then jump ahead to verses 23, 24, and 25 of Nehemiah 13. And then go to the book of Ezra, and to make this one a little cleaner in translation, use the NRSV and read the last verse, Ezra 10:44 in the NRSV. And if you read those, that will give you a good framework of what we're going to talk about in next week's Ruth introduction to getting you into the time, place, setting, perhaps, and even intent of this little book. I hope this helps. You pray for me for strength over the next few days. We have a big weekend. We're going to be in Chapin, South Carolina on Friday night. Very excited. And we've also got a closed meeting. I can tell you about later. We've done some of these in the past where we go into groups that are already meeting and we don't announce it because we're just there for them. And we're doing one of those this weekend too that I'm very excited about. Anyhow, I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. Check out our podcast if you never do, the DDP. It's our audio podcast. We're currently walking through the Gospel of Mark, and we're in the crucifixion, coming up on the crucifixion. So very, very exciting times as you walk through that gospel with us. All right. Love you. See you later. God bless.